What's up, everyone? It's NFL Hall of Fame wide receiver Chris Carter. And yes, I'm back, and I'm hosting a new podcast called Wide Receiver One, presented by Blue Wire and WinBet. I'm going to be talking to some of the best wide receivers in the game today about every topic that is related to football, but more importantly, the personal struggles. We're going to dive deeper into the man underneath the helmet, who he is, who he once was, and who he wants to become. Listen to me, NFL Hall of Famer Chris Carter, on Wide Receiver One, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast with our host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast. Before we jump in today, I'd like to give a big shout out to teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you like these resources, if you like them being free, if you like them 5 days a week along with Coach Unplugged in High School Hoops, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's what keeps the lights on. It's one way for you to repay us. And also leave a 5-star review. We love those. Let's head off the podcast. Okay, Coach, do you have a favorite drill or a favorite thing you do at practice that you would like to share with the coaches?
Absolutely. Being a veteran coach, but I started this early in my career. I've done it for, out of my 40, next year's my 40th season, I've probably done it for 30 consecutive years. I spend an hour a day still on skill development. So I use the word to the kids, boring, monotonous repetition is what makes players, because what happens is after you do it thousands of times, you no longer think about things. You play and you react. So I do a lot of skill work with, tons and tons of shooting, but we do footwork stuff, ball handling with cones into shooting drills. So we're always combining skills into other skills, to really get the kids to learn and play the game of basketball the way it's supposed to be played. But one of my favorite drills is we call it 5-man break. And if you and I are standing at half court and we're looking down at either basket at the baseline, I put 5 lines down there. So let's say starting in the right corner, out of bounds on the baseline is line 1. Then move over a couple steps is line 2. In the middle of the under the basket is line 3, and then going down towards the other corner is line 4 and line 5. So they're all equally spaced out, and the rotation is real simple. Line 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, 3 goes to 4, 4 goes to 5, and 5 goes back to 1. Okay. I put my point guards in the middle line, and they pretty much stay in that line the whole time, but the other 4 lines rotate. So here's how the drill works. It's an awesome drill. The inside 3 lines, lines 2, 3, and 4, do a tight 3-man weave. The outside lines, line number 1, line number 5, sprint down to the opposite baseline, touch it with their foot, and then they run back sideways so they can see the ball towards the center jump circle, and then they form a tandem defense. I got ball, I got basket.
No team can afford to overpay for talent. Build a championship team with Indeed, the smart way to only pay for quality candidates that meet your must-have requirements. When hiring gets hard, you need Indeed, the job site that makes hiring incredibly simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. In fact, with Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in just one place. Indeed knows how important it is to make the most of your recruiting hours and dollars. And with Indeed, you can save time and money by setting your must-have qualifications and only pay for the quality candidates that meet them. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Once the other 3 guys do their tight 3-man weave, whoever scores doesn't matter. The 2 wings fill the right lane or the left lane, and then the point guard comes down the middle of the floor, and then they play 3-on-2 coming back. So it's a 5-on-0 down, and then 3-on-2 coming back. And then what I'll do on that is I'll add a ton of different things philosophy-wise, what we do in our half-court man-to-man ball screen offense. So, for example, as we're coming down instead of having the point guard in the middle of the floor, I'll have him come down the right slot. I'll have the right lane wing player run to the corner, and then I'll have the third guy who's supposed to run to the left corner. He'll come over and set a drag screen for the point guard, and the point guard will come down from right hand to his left hand. The drag screen guy will roll to the basket, and then the corner guy will lift up and replace. So you're getting your, ball screen action where you get a roller, and then you have, you get help from the corner on defense, and then that guy from the corner comes up and replaces. So I can add just so many things to it. And our program, I make our modified freshman, JV, and varsity all do that drill.
I love that. I love the what you started with too, with the monotony and stuff. It's like, from a math teacher, if you don't know your multiplication tables, you can't do calculus.
Well, exactly. And seriously, I mean, my kids, if you walked into, we have open gym tonight, and, if you walked in my practice tonight, and said, hey, what does Coach Blackbird always say about, skill work? If we do it thousands of times, we'll get better, and it's the truth. It's the truth, because then they're just playing basketball. They don't think anymore. They just, they react. And that's what we want our kids to do.
Yeah, and I think that's been least lost in education. I'm not even talking about basketball. I'm talking about education. It's like, sometimes sure, you need to know why you're doing it and how you're doing it, but you also, there's some of it that just needs to be, like multiplication table. You just need to be able to add 2 + 2 together. And part of that's memorization, which is like a fundamental. You have to have those fundamentals.
Absolutely. No, it's for basketball specifically, but I am a retired teacher. I taught for 31 years. I taught high school physical education, but there's always a method to our madness, and and for sports, for basketball particularly, is I just honestly, going in my 40th year, I still spend an hour a day on skill development, and I always make it fun and repetitious. But, it's always for a purpose, whether it's our zone offense, man offense, defensive stuff. But, we do skill work all the time. And one thing that we got 2 years ago, we finally, we bought the gun. And that's, helped us tremendously with our program, because, I get kids, in the summertime specifically, thousands of shots.
Right, and you can get those repetitions that you definitely need. All right, thank you, Coach.